Hey, what's going on, guys? We are in a full remodel construction zone, and what better way to test out a new product? We got an electric planer here by the company TopShak. This is once again a corded electric planer, and I'm going to show you some awesome examples about how to use it. Bria already is sniffing around, thinking about it, but these are great for putting in fresh new doors that you need just planed down a little bit, especially if they're not pre-hung. A great way to go ahead, especially if you've bought one pre-owned or new and they're just not closing properly, being able to shave down some edges, and so you get a beautiful, nice fit once it is in place. Now, this particular door is a pre-hung door, but I'm just giving you a couple examples with the electric planer. So number one, again, forgive the mess, but again, we are in a full construction remodel right now. Let's go ahead and see what you have inside of the box here. They give you a little dust bag there. We have the electric planer here. We're gonna get out of the bag in just a second. And then the warranty card and instruction manual there. And then we'll find out what exactly is in this little pouch here. Alrighty, in the pouch, they give us an edge guide. They give us a depth stop, and obviously your little wrench for tightening, loosening the bottom of the blade, and a couple screw nuts for those edge guides and depth stop. All right, so the company actually offers a couple different models. This particular one is the TSEP2, and just like all my videos, in the description box right below the video, you're gonna see the link. So this is the 7.5 amp electric planer. The planing width is 82 millimeters, 3 1/8 of an inch. The planing depth is 3 millimeters at 1/16 of an inch. And the shiplap depth is 24 millimeters with a no load speed RPM of 14,500 per minute. Now again, on this side, you have your vacuum bag hookup right here, and underneath is your zippered pouch to be able to throw that in the wastebasket. Obviously, it's a little dusty in here, but it's only going to get dustier, so it's okay if it gets a little dirty. Right here is our dial so that we're able to modify the distance for the front shoe. Flipping that around, you have some nice grooves here for your different side cuts. Here's our cutter right here, and our rear shoe in the back. After you're finished with it or storing it, you want to go ahead and move that cutter blade inside so that you don't damage it right there. And I do want to show you, it does have a safety function here for the switch. So you need to push that in to be able to click it on, and then once it's pushed in, you hold that down for continuous use, let go, and it obviously will stop then. Just a little safety precaution just in case you're walking with it over to another piece of lumber, still plugged in, and you accidentally hit the trigger. This will take you one additional step to push that in. This is where your accessory is attached to, the left and also the right-hand side, either or. And here's our depth guide right here. You can see 0 to 25 or 24. Now in my particular case, my shop vac tubing, I don't have the attachment that is small enough for this. So if you have the big shop vac tube, like we see here, that won't be able to fit over that. You'd have to use the adapter. This size would be ideal. Obviously, you're not going to use your household vacuum, but that's about the size of it. And for some reason, I'm not sure if that screws off or it's super tight, but that's not coming off for some oddball reason. I don't think it's meant to. And so you would just use a small adapter and go ahead and press that on in. Now, other good options would be for obviously construction if you don't have a true plumb wall. In this case, I'm actually looking this at a little bit further away and how there's a little edge right over here. Now, obviously my corner bead's gonna cover that up, but I'm just giving you a little bit of an example where you can electric plane, obviously without the drywall on here, probably tear into the drywall. But pre-putting on the drywall, you could get this little lip right here off of here. Or if there's studs, like for instance, here's another example. If I didn't feel like doing anything with this, I could clean some of these knots, some of these banged up grooves right here, put those a little bit smoother if I didn't feel like sanding them. Obviously being very careful of any little holes, brad nails that have been pounded in, but just would be able to clean up some of the hammer indentions, etc. All right, so let's head over to the shop here where I have my vise. We'll grab a couple 2x4s and see if we can find some other nice scrap wood. And let's put some examples in the books. Okay, so after messing around with it for a few minutes here, I am noticing that definitely technique does come into play. Here we can see a little bit of chatter as I was kind of going off a little bit, as here as well. So you got to clean that up just a little bit. And so that's where more technique would come into play. But here, let's go ahead and look at what it was. This is how it started back through here. and putting down a nice smooth finish. Obviously there's a little chatter right here, so I'm going to work on my technique a little bit, but let's go ahead and show you this one right through here after a couple passes. So again, definitely adjust the depth of it. Here we can see a little bit of chatter because this 2x4 is slightly larger than the blade. So you do got to be a little careful if you're doing wide angles on big pieces. But for like thinner pieces like this, I plan to do an accent wall behind my master bedroom. And these would be absolutely amazing. Instead of sanding, you could literally just electric plane it down. Just beautiful finish. That's what I'm going to plan on doing. Obviously not going as deep as this, keeping it very minimal, just skimming off the top coat. This was after one pass. And as you can see here, this deep line, same exact thing, is almost gone. It's gone right here. And then this is what it looks like after I came off of it here. Just beautiful. So my next test I'm going to do before we're going to get to this one here, because I want to see how it cleans up these nail holes, some of this rough spot right here, etc. I want to go ahead and do the side here and see how that looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put it right in the center. You could do the big lines if you really want to as well. As you can see, your arrows right here, so your middle, your right, and your left arrows there, depends on how thick of a channel you want. And then once you're in the arrow, you just literally lock it into place and glide it down and then come off of it. Now I also want to talk about the sawdust. This bag is about a quarter full already just off of this 2x4. So this dust bag is going to fill up very quickly if you're just using the dust bag, but it is doing a great job. Obviously not perfect because there is sawdust here, here, and here, but imagine this quarter filled bag almost, actually that's more like about halfway already, if that was all over the ground, all over the shop. So it's sufficient for small jobs, but definitely get the adapter for your shop vac. That actually worked out really nicely using the left edge. Let's go ahead and look at that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? If you wanted a smooth little edge here, obviously let's go ahead and look at what a typical 2x4 is right here. This is where I lipped off of it, and a nice edge. That's pretty cool. And that again is the left thicker side right there. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to try the middle section. So that's obviously a smaller groove if that's what you're going for. This is where I lipped off of it right here. But a very smooth texture, as you can see here. So I'm definitely pumped. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one now, because this is going to save me a lot of timing. I've been watching other videos about accent walls, and they have like one little 1x2 pieces, and they're sanding every single piece on 3 sides. Obviously not the 4th side that goes up against the wall. And so if I can electric plane on a very small grade, being able to clean up each side without having to sand, that's going to save me at least a couple hours. All right, so it did a great job, but obviously you see something right here. I got a little chatter as I came off this knot right here, and it kind of just lipped out a little bit, but then went smooth over this one for some reason. Maybe it's just my technique. I think I need to get used to it a little bit more. But look at how smooth this is, one pass from what it was. And then again, we hit the knot, a little bit of chatter right here. We could sand that out real simple, or maybe another pass. But let's go ahead and look at this here. Beautifully smooth through this. And then this is what we started with right here. All that nastiness into this beautiful smooth one pass. That's pretty cool. Obviously, I need to work on a little technique right through here. I'm going to go ahead and back that up in the vise, and I'm going to go ahead and do this side. Okay, definitely my technique. I actually only used one hand instead of 2, and I was able to actually do it much better with one hand. As you can see, here's a knot right here. Look at this second section that we just did. And actually, I feel that one-handed, I'm actually taking off a little bit less. Maybe I'm putting too much pressure with 2 hands, but let's go ahead and look at this a little bit closer. That's one hand starting from the very back and going on super smooth all the way through the knots, especially this one here. Sure, there's a little bit still right there. Lightly sand a little bit of that if that really bothered you there and there. But I think it's definitely my technique, and for me, I'm getting better results with one hand. Because we just actually moved into this, my shop isn't fully latched in, so obviously my vise is kind of a little bit wobbly. That's why I actually used one hand this last go around. And sure, this is I think around maybe 7 pounds-ish, but I just kind of did the same thing, came off of it like that at my ending stroke, and I'm very impressed with the results. So I'm definitely going to use this technique for my accent wall instead of sanding before I stain for my accent wall. Definitely subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see that. We are once again in a full 10-acre farmhouse ranch remodel. Here is a very, very messy shop, but we got woodworking supplies. We got all my furniture I need to move in. We got even a car lift. We're going to put a gym in here. That's getting about, I'd say about 85% full after that, so definitely hook up your shop vac or empty this out frequently. Overall, I'm impressed. Get used to your technique before you go full bore into some expensive wood. Again, your links are below. If you wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up button on your way out. It helps the channel and the YouTube algorithm. I really appreciate you. Once again, subscribe if you like videos like this and tech reviews as well. Once again, your links are below. We will see you on the next video. My name is Chris. Take care for now. Bye-bye. Don't let the party stop, guys. Hit one of these videos, continue to watch, and we'll see you soon.